Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode.
I feel like I'm so far diagonal. I don't know.
Oh, it could be.
It's okay.
I've been pushing the couch back slowly but surely.
While playing on
the Steam Deck, yeah.
Does Helldivers perform well on it?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Only 30 FPS, but
good enough for level 4.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's playable. I was doing what was I doing? I feel like at least 7. I brought it to work one time. The lunch break. Only for lunch break.
Turned into an hour-long lunch.
Yeah.
Do you normally have an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Salaried, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah. I get an hour. Pros and cons. Because when I'm done eating in 10 minutes, I'm like, what do I do with the rest of this hour?
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
just go back to work and then... Is there a specified lunch time that you guys are supposed to take?
Not really, no.
Everyone takes it kind of when they want?
Yeah, it's pretty flexible. Some people just go to the gym during that time, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Right.
And then just eat a little snack at their desk or something?
Yeah, basically. And then a lot of the guys who work on the new construction will take earlier lunches because that's when the construction guys are taking lunch.
Yeah.
It's flexible. That is a huge pro to salaried.
Yeah, fair enough. Trevor, tell me about all of the Final Fantasy cards of the world.
Bore our audience from the beginning.
And then if you get through this stuff, or there will be a timestamp if you don't care about Final Fantasy, where you can skip to the juicy content.
That's right.
It's all juicy.
You got to stay for all of it, get maximum juice. But Final Fantasy has some awesome cards. They've been doing so many spoilers. I feel like this spoiler season has been done well because it has been pretty long. I feel like they've done just a drip feed, whereas the previous ones they're just here's all the cards in 1 week, and then next week here's all the commander decks, and then it's and then the whole set's out, and now you can play with it. This one, maybe because it's a bigger IP, seems like they're taking their time, and I kind of like that.
Well, and prices are already so astronomical that they don't need to sell anything else.
No, they don't. So I think they just build up hype because the set still isn't out for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, jeez. I forgot to plug this in.
Oh, that's good. Now we're rolling. I mean, we were always rolling, but now we won't die.
Now it won't die. My bad. Oops.
Yeah, so it's I can't even organize them because they're just dropping here's commander cards, here's some good legendaries, here's some good popper cards. They're all just spread throughout. So I'll start off with pretty funny one. This is potentially the new best removal. I wish it was a common, but potentially in commander at least, or standard. Yeah, this is the standard legal one. It is Overkill. So it's 2 and a black, 3 mana. Instant speed. Target creature gets -0, -9,999.
No way.
Overkill. That's the text format on it. It is -0 power and -9,999 toughness.
It doesn't kill the cactus.
It doesn't. You have to kill him before he powers up, which you can do because I think his power up goes on the stack. And this is instant speed.
Isn't it a declare attack?
It's still a trigger, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, so you can respond to it with the overkill. Yeah.
That's funny.
Uh-huh.
Kills any massive creature.
Kills basically anything.
Yeah, unless you have a loop of infinite 1/1 counters, but then you can respond to the application of a 1/1 counter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You try to stop them before.
But in response, they can apply more. Yeah.
In theory, yeah.
Rough.
So, but it gets around indestructible. So, because it's minus toughness.
Yeah.
So it is as far as 3 mana creature removal goes, it's the best. It's better than destroy target creature.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Overkill. I'm all right, that one's fun. Again, wish it was popper, but
I don't think that is necessary in popper.
3 mana kill anything.
Yeah.
I'll jump to I'm all over the place because it's I saved some of my favorites that were like, this is a cool character, a cool scene from Final Fantasy X or whatever, one of my favorites, and then like be like, I don't know the guy from this Final Fantasy. This is a great card.
Sure.
This guy I think is going to be pretty crazy for potentially standard, but probably some other formats, because anytime you cheat equipment costs, it's never good. Equipments are very old and outdated, and they have equipment costs to balance them for a reason. And they try to like cheat that to make them playable, but then it usually ends up going too far the other way. So this is, I'm going to say Raban, Final Fantasy 14. All the fans out there can tell me I'm wrong. It's Raban, the Bowl of Alamigo. I never said that out loud. Amigo? Anyway, he's
Alamigo.
He's 1 in a red, so 2 mana, 2/2, human warrior. He has ward, pay life equal to his power.
Oh, that's pretty good.
A base ward 2, but whenever he attacks, you attach up to 1 target equipment you control to target attacking creature.
Oh.
Yeah, very simple 2 mana, 2/2 creature, where every time he attacks, you can just cheat equipments.
That's pretty nice.
So obviously the boogeyman is Colossus Hammer.
Yeah, the 10 mana one.
Yeah, which it costs 1 to play.
Yeah,
the equip cost is 10, and it gives your creature +10/+10.
And gets rid of flying.
And gets rid of flying because your hammer is too big.
Which is very funny.
Yeah, but you slap that on him, and now he's a 12/12, and he has ward 12,
which is chunky.
Yeah. So like that's simple, but that can be powerful in standard, potentially modern, honestly, like because Colossus Hammer has played modern for a while, so although it's better to stick it on a 1/1 creature with infect, but
because it just kills him.
Yeah, it just kills him in 1 hit, but so mono red, it's doable.
Mono red super aggro, mono red equipment deck.
Yep.
Kind of fun.
Just going off of the 2 mana 2/2 commanders, apparently. This guy is from Final Fantasy 13, and he's like the most annoying kid in the game. So he's naturally the most annoying commander. He's white and a blue. Sorry, his name is Hope. Hope from Final Fantasy. I hate that guy. Hope S-Time. He's a 2 mana 2/2 human wizard. He's got lifelink. And then at the beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn.
Oh.
Surprisingly enough, they've never like really combined the two most annoying things, life gain and milling, on a 1 commander.
Now they have.
And
that's going to be broken.
It's like, it might not win games often because people hate having that happen to them in Commander. They hate milling, and they hate when you gain 1,000 life. Well, now I guess if you gain 1,000 life, you just
mill them out.
Yeah.
It's one by one. They go to their draw step and die, and go to their draw step and die, and go to their draw step and die.
So, like, credit where it's due, that does give a win con to life gain decks and only a 2 mana commander. That's pretty good, because some life gain decks just kind of funnel around and just do nothing. Like, look, I have life. All right, cool.
Yeah, they do nothing until they have 10,000 life, and then they're like, I have no win condition in the deck.
Okay, commander damage, you're dead. Like,
yeah.
Or hey, poison counters. So this guy, on your end step, you mill everybody. It's not even like target opponent. They just went all out, like in a standard card.
And I feel like there's like some cards where it's like whenever target opponent or whenever an opponent mills a card, you do X, Y, and Z as well.
Yeah.
And so like putting those in there where it's like whenever an opponent mills a card, you draw a card. You know.
There's a lot of if an opponent would mill 1 card, then mill more.
Yep.
So you can.
And isn't there one where whenever an opponent mills a card, they lose 1 life or something like that?
Oh, probably, yeah.
And so like just throw that on the board, and you gain, like if you gain 20 life, you just dealt 60 damage to your opponents. Like it's a pretty good life total swing.
And only 2 mana commander, white blue. Like you can just pillow fort up with the rest of the deck.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So I didn't
throw propaganda in there.
I didn't like this guy in the game. I won't like him in Magic either.
True.
He's a party member too. It's not like he's a boss or anything. I just don't like him. He's like a 12-year-old kid and he's just yapping the whole time. Context, Final Fantasy 13 is actually a movie. They tell you 13 because that's how many hours long each cutscene is. Yeah. Like, if you watch just cutscenes on YouTube of that game, it is like 80 hours long.
80 hours long?
Yeah, like minus gameplay.
Jeez
it's
Louise.
insane. I have never beat that game to this day.
Yeah, because you have to watch a season of a show.
Yeah, I know.
No, 80 hours of cutscenes is like 8 seasons of a...
It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones. You have to watch Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Not including gameplay. And there's probably some grinding, I think, by the end game. Like JRPGs do.
That's yucky.
Yeah. Pretty goofy game. Never beat it. Final Fantasy X, on the other hand, let's get to some good Final Fantasy. I got some good cards from this one. They did some reprints as well. I can fire off pretty quick with some cool Final Fantasy art, but also good to bring like prices down. They did a good farewell reprint. Everybody's favorite or least favorite board wipe in white. They did, because the Final Fantasy X Commander deck is like 1/1 counter focus, so they did Together Forever, which was a pretty cool one.
I don't know that one. And I love 1/1 counters.
Yeah, so it's 2 white pips, so it's semi-restricted.
That's why I don't care about it.
I know. It's when
Who's 1/1 counters in white?
I mean, arguably that might have been where it started, actually.
No, they're wrong.
Going back 20 years of Magic's history, you guys are wrong.
Green.
Started in green, keep it in green. So, Together Forever, we can throw up the Final Fantasy art, but this card is probably a couple years old. When the enchantment enters, you support 2. You put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. That's fine, that's whatever. But then it's got an activated ability on the enchantment, which is cool. You can just pay 1 generic, and you choose target creature with a counter on it, and when that creature dies this turn, you return it to its owner's hand.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really good for, like, commander protection, basically.
Yeah.
Pseudo protection.
A white-green deck would be fantastic.
Yeah, any creature, which in white-green, probably most of your creatures have counters on them, you're like, I don't want you to die permanently. I'll just pull you back to my hand for 1 mana. So,
yeah.
I like it. So those are some of the reprints that were worth mentioning. It's a pretty cool new one. Where did this guy go? Yeah, this one is like still in white. It's kind of like a Teferi's Protection. Not a reprint.
Teferi's Shield.
Replacement. It is Ultimate Magic : Holy.
It's a very Japanese way to do that.
Yeah, I know. Permanence is instant, 3 mana. That's why Teferi's Protection. Permanents you control gain indestructible till end of turn. If the spell was cast from exile, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn. And it's got Foretell for 3, so you have a way to put it in exile early. So it's not totally Teferi's Protection, because it doesn't have your life total can't change clause, but it does prevent all damage that would be dealt to you.
I think it's actually better than Teferi's Protection.
Yeah, because
Teferi's Protection doesn't prevent all damage. It's just your life total can't change.
Life total can't
and so
change.
you can still die from commander damage because it applies a different effect. And you can still die from poison counters as well.
Poison counters, yep.
But this
prevents all damage.
It's better than... Yeah. Your stuff can still die because you can be forced to sacrifice it, right?
Yeah.
But to enter Teferi's Protection, you don't have to. You can just they all phase out and they don't exist.
Exactly.
These are not the cards you are looking for.
This one you could still at least use your permanents, you use your creatures if you wanted. They just get indestructible. It's Magic Commander especially is like so oversaturated now with like board wipes and removal and protection that there's no way you can prepare for every eventuality. So it's good to have options. You pick your favorites or like your meta, play to your local meta.
Yeah.
So this is another pretty good option. And then I'll do probably just like 1 or 2 more highlights so I don't bore you. We got to talk about best new card for Pauper because it's for actual poppers in real life, it is the instant ramen card.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
They made one that's called instant ramen.
Instant ramen. It's from Final Fantasy 15. Was like pseudo modern.
Yeah.
Like you drive around in a car.
Oh yeah.
Which was pretty cool. They have some funny cards from that one. There was a boss in that game that took literally like 20 hours or something like that. It was like post end game. You had to grind, and it was just this giant turtle who like wandered around on the map the whole game, but then he was an actual boss. They put him as a card, which was goofy. He was all right. It wasn't that good. But instant ramen, because you're on a road trip with your bros in this car, and so you can eat ramen, Gabe. It's just
how do you make the ramen in the car?
So it's cup noodles. You camp out. You have a campsite. Yeah. So it is. It's a new food, but not a token. So it's a 2-mana artifact food, and it has flash.
Interesting,
because it's instant ramen. Yeah. Other than that, it's got the food token effect. So you pay 2 and sacrifice it to gain 3 life, and when it enters, you draw a card. So you replace it. So it's like nothing to write home about, but we do have similar stuff in Pauper.
Yeah.
The Lembas bread from the Lord of the Rings set doesn't have flash, and it does everything else here the same, except it's when it enters, you draw a card and scry 1, I think.
Yeah.
So Pauper artifact decks might use that. They could have liked the flash. Also,
and we got Cup of Noodles now.
You got Cup of Noodles. It's just, that's Magic the Gathering now. It's kind
Gimli
of funny.
can play with a cup of noodles in his hand.
I summon my Cup of Noodles and equip it to Gandalf or whatever. Yeah, no, it's
like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing now.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man comes swinging in.
And SpongeBob.
Don't forget. And then I'll end off with one pretty sick commander who's kind of a neat new archetype. I feel like I'm always pointing these ones out for Rakdos, because Rakdos traditionally is just like, before treasure tokens, Rakdos was just like, the demons and devils and stuff. So this guy is wizards. He's a black and a red. He's a 4-mana 3/4 human mutant wizard. And then at the beginning of your end step, you create a 0/1 black wizard token that has, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Oh.
You only get 1 of those on your end step, but if you get the tokens,
you can also multiply tokens in black and red.
Yeah, it's harder to do, which is why I think it's a cool archetype to try to build around that.
It's kind of like a necromancery.
Yeah, I think he makes like golems in the game, if I recall. Little wizard golems. And so then he's not done. His backside, because he says, you make the wizard token, then if you have 4 more wizards, you flip them on your end step. And his back ability doesn't make any more wizard tokens. I wish it did. Like, it would keep churning them out. But he turns into a 4/6, so he's a little bit stronger. Then if a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead.
But there's 0/1s.
They're 0/1s, but their ability, when you cast a non-creature, they deal 1 damage.
Oh, they deal damage. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then he himself is a 4/6, so he'll deal double damage if you attack or block or whatever. But all of your wizards will ping for 2 damage per spell. It's build roundable. It's cool.
Yeah.
That is, I didn't say his name, Kuja, Genome Sorcerer.
Seems like a pretty cool deck to build, to be honest.
Black, red, Rakdos. Wizards, token duplication, and pingers. Could be a lot to throw into one deck, but it seems cool.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of choose you have to choose a lane there. You can't really just throw all of it together.
Yeah.
But it's nice because there's multiple avenues of building that guy.
Again,
you could ignore the little guys if you wanted to, and then just do all wizards.
Yeah, exactly. Just other wizards. You could probably do.
Although wizards usually have some blue in them, don't they?
Yeah, there's like some red and some black, but those are probably like secondary and tertiary.
Yeah,
blues mostly wizards. You could just go all Voltron, just go all in on him.
It's true.
For double damage.
Yeah.
So
double damage with trample.
Yeah, exactly. Give him some evasion, something like that, or some way for him to deal non-combat damage. You find some way.
So if you Okay, how does this work? Double damage. He has to do the damage first, and then it's double that amount of damage?
It is a replacement effect. So it's not a triggered ability. So it's if a wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. Instead is the keyword for
Gotcha. So like if I had trample on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a 4/6, right?
Yeah, he's a 4/6.
So my opponent gives me a 3/3, blocks with a 3/3.
Uh-huh.
So I would be getting 1 damage through.
Normally, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of dealing 6 damage to the 3/3 and 2 damage to my opponent, I'm actually dealing the full 3 damage to my, 3 damage to my the blocker and 5 damage to my opponent.
Should be, yes.
Okay.
As I understand it, yeah.
Gotcha.
You can effectively double his power.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Otherwise, it would get weird with like fractions or rounding and no, yeah.
That's a good point.
I don't think the rules would account for that. That'd be needlessly complicated.
Fair enough.
Just double the damage.
Needlessly complicated in Magic the Gathering.
Who could imagine such a thing? Anyway, yeah, we'll leave it there for Final Fantasy cards then.
Very nice.
Just some pretty good ones. Take a look. You probably have tons of new tools to spice up your commander decks.
Very good.
Nothing like too crazy for Pauper. The ramen. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. Is like any good commons though.
There was that one I had last week that was pretty okay for Pauper, I thought.
I forget offhand, but if you pull it up.
I wasn't going to. I can find
okay,
it.
okay. No, that's fine.
I have it saved. Ready?
He's got
in 3, 2, 1. Town Greeter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
So, all right, Trevor, tell me about Doom.
Doom.
The Dark Ages, right?
Doom the Dark Ages. Just doom them to hell. Doom the Dark Ages. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen a lot. Seen a lot of gameplay on it because I barely buy games day one these days. Mm-hmm. I don't have money for that. I watch streamers do it first. It's their job.
They get it as a tax write-off.
Yeah, exactly. Because they even had that like play 3 days early if you pay an extra $20 or whatever.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't know. If you do that without watching like gameplay, like
again, unless it's a tax write-off, or I don't know, it's not even a multiplayer game. So like.
So why
not just wait? Like,
yeah,
if all of your buddies were getting it early, and it's like, hey, we want to just like crush a bunch of fools online. Sure, all right.
Yeah, but you can't play it with your buddies.
No, if all your buddies get it, and then you all get really good in those first 3 days, and then on the full release, you crush all the newbies.
Yeah, but this is a single-player game, Trevor.
I know. I invented a magical scenario with lots of qualifiers where, yeah, I could understand that.
If it was a multiplayer game,
yeah,
I see. Yes,
right,
gotcha.
That's the only scenario I'd expect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah,
but Doom: The Dark Ages, from what I've seen, looks pretty good. Looks pretty fun. More just like Doom slaying, Doom energy. The shield looks pretty sick. The Captain America shield with the chainsaws. It seems a lot like slower paced than the other Doom games, which is maybe like the other modern Doom games, which is maybe not a bad thing. Because then they all kind of feel distinct, which is cool. I've heard some complaints about the music not feeling the same, and I do think there is kind of some credence behind those claims as well, because they don't have the original composer of the first two modern, I'll call it the Doom trilogy now. They
Eternal and 2016.
In 2016, yeah. The composer for those,
was it called Doom 2016?
I think it was just called Doom.
Oh,
in parentheses, unofficially 2016.
Yeah,
but because the original Doom was called Doom.
The 80s.
Yeah, but they had Doom and then 2 and 3 back then.
Yeah. The second trilogy.
Yeah, right. And
prequel trilogy.
It is, yeah, the prequel trilogy. The composer for 2016 and Eternal. Well, on Eternal, I don't know the whole backstory. You can look it up. I'm sure people have done video essays better than me. Mick Gordon is his name. Long story short, I think he kind of got shafted on Eternal. Like they didn't pay him, or they didn't credit him for the soundtrack, or something weird. Or they booted him off before the game released, or something. Had a huge falling out, right? And so like some of Eternal's tracks were really good, but you can tell like they didn't finish all of it. And then this one, like they'd already burnt that bridge, so they pulled in different composers or a team of music songwriters. And that's all right, but it's like Mick Gordon was like a visionary. The man was like literally using lawnmowers and chainsaws to compose music, which was perfect.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And this one is like, all right, I've heard some music. It's okay. It's okay, but it doesn't feel like you're just, I don't know, diving into hell and just slaying thousands of demons left and right like an unstoppable soldier.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, it's got some beats, I guess. Doesn't feel as metal.
Yeah.
Because Doom is like if metal was a video game. It was probably like the initial concept. How metal can we make this?
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple. I haven't played the game.
Mm-hmm.
My only experience with Doom was the original one.
Yeah.
And Eternal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you played some Eternal. You picked that up cheap, right?
Yeah, I think it was like $10.
Yeah. It was a steal. That game is solid. It's a lot of
yeah, like for sure. I think I probably gave it a raving review on the podcast here.
I think so, yeah.
So like that's my only experiences, right? Yeah. So like not super into like the lore or anything like that, right? But and this game from all the ads looks pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
But I've seen a bunch of people online saying that it's not.
Yeah.
So, which I never know what to trust on the internet.
True.
So like, they could be right.
Yeah.
They also could be completely wrong.
Right.
So
yeah. Even like, if you go to your trusted sources or whatever, like, I don't know. I feel like even sometimes I'm like, you should take everything you hear with a grain of salt, but you can't just like be a blind sheep and have your one-stop shop for all your opinions. So,
and there are people who like I find who I like generally agree with from like a lot of their takes, or like honestly I use their videos as just like my news, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this happened, interesting, you know, like
because nobody watches news anymore.
Yeah, and like, you know, they cover news that is like generally what I would cover, would want to look at anyway. So like,
yeah,
kind of works out. But anyway, just like, I hope that the game is good.
Yeah,
because it's a good IP. I hope they aren't ruining it, as so many companies are wont to do.
Yeah,
after successes.
Yeah.
So I hope they sell enough copies to, you know,
hopefully keep doing
keep afloat at least, and figure out what they're going to do next with it, or if
they've done good with it previously in terms of game design. So.
Do you think that a first-person 3-man, 4-man Halo-esque game of Doom online, you know, like you can play with your buddies, but just kind of like Helldivers or Halo, where you're not fighting other online people, it's fighting bots, right?
Okay.
NPCs or whatever you want to call them. Do you think that would have any... Where it's like the same type of weapons, you can still like chainsaw people, you can still do all that stuff, but...
Double barrel shotgun.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a grappling hook in this one, but yeah.
Yeah, but you got a shield with a chainsaw you can throw, so...
would that be popular today? That's a la Quake.
Oh, yeah,
which was made by id Software, who makes the modern Doom ones, I'm pretty sure. Although Quake was a like an arena shooter, so it was PvP. So yeah, you're describing almost more cooperative.
Yeah. Like take Halo.
Yeah.
Throw it into the Doom universe.
Doom universe, yeah. That, I mean, if done right.
I mean, it's very similar to Space Marine 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But first person, not third.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these cooperative, you know, sci-fi fantasy shooters.
Space racism shooters.
Yeah. I think so. I think that there's probably money in that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd play it for sure. I think that's, well, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot that went wrong, but like, I feel like the past couple of Halo games haven't really captured that like feel of sitting down with your buddies and playing. Like,
wasn't the last one just Infinite?
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
Had a really good single player campaign from what I heard. But I don't think you could do co-op.
I heard the opposite.
Yeah?
Who told me that?
I don't remember. I didn't play it actually, but
I heard it was like super open world and that there was like not enough stuff to do.
Not enough, yeah, because
that's what I heard. I didn't play it. I played the co-op or the battle arena shooter with you and
because they released the multiplayer early. Yeah, I remember that
for free too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then I heard the multiplayer they also kind of dropped the ball on that one. Like they weren't doing any updates or anything for too long and lost all their players.
I mean, if they didn't make enough money on it to keep it going, then why would you?
Hard with live service games these days, but
yeah, super hard.
Everyone's
very difficult.
Everyone's asking for the battle pass, so
yeah, and then half of people are like, I want a battle pass, and then the other half of people are like, screw battle passes.
I just want to buy the whole game and play the whole game.
Yeah,
and then move on to the next game.
Yeah, there's always like that fine balance of like, having a battle pass to make more money.
Yeah,
and then giving players enough free content so that you have a player base that will support people buying your free your purchasable
We've
content.
said this before. It's like I understand the monetization model, but when playing through Oblivion, I'm pretty sure it's probably one of the last few games that actually had like expansion packs, and that is just like a relic of a bygone era these days. Like it's a video game. Here's 100% of the video game for $40 back then, right? 6 months to a year later, we released an expansion pack for $20. That is like another 50% of the game. Like you get a lot of value out of that, and then maybe a second expansion or whatever. Like Oblivion had that, and the remaster just throws in the 2 expansion packs that were additions to the game originally. That's just on the remastered. And I'm like, I can't think of another game past 2009 that really had that model. Like now, because Oblivion had the first DLC, the horse armor, that everybody jokes about, that we've joked about on here. I'm like, after that, everyone kind of started doing the downloadable content DLC, which was pay $5 or $10 for like 2% additional game.
Yeah.
Very minimal, 1% additional. Yeah, this is just cosmetic. It's 0%. There's nothing here, but you can give us $10. Like, yeah, okay. I see that you need to like fund in between big projects, but where's the expansion packs? So,
yeah.
It's sad. I do like that Helldivers, I don't know how long it's going to last, but they aren't doing expansion packs per se, but they are kind of having like a living story. They are adding additional gameplay just for free to the main game as they're building upon the story of the universe.
Yeah, we'll see how long. I mean, as long as they're making money, I think they'll probably continue to.
Yeah.
As long as they're in the black,
You keep money to construct the narrative and keep adding new content, new stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm sure that Arrowhead Games Studios, is probably working on another game, but behind the scenes. So they made a lot of money at the beginning of the game, and now they're I'm sure they just have a smaller team working on the implementation of all the new ideas and stuff like that.
Alive, yeah.
But it's I mean, their story so far is super great with the in-world attacks and everything.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks, so if you haven't heard, Super Earth's been invaded, by the way. It's all over the internet. At least
Super Earth was attacked.
At least my internet, but we got to go defend Super Earth.
Yeah. I really hope. I saw a couple of fan-made on Reddit, war bonds.
War bonds, yeah, that's their
and I saw a couple that were like, with the increase of the Illuminate's air presence, you'd have like an air-to-air SAM site turret.
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah.
So it just like you throw it down and it only has like 10 shots or whatever, or 8 shots, but like one hits the gunships, the fighter planes, one hits the fighter planes, and then like 3 hits the Leviathans or something like that. Just like super powerful rockets, but it only attacks aerial vehicles.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't even attack the overseers, but like just like on extract, you can just like set it down and it's.
That'd be cool.
There was a couple other. There was one where it was a stratagem where you could drop in like a big hell pod full of like Seaf guys.
Yeah.
You know, like you get like a squad of 5 of them or whatever.
That'd be so rad.
It'd be sweet. Anyway.
Yeah. We weren't planning on talking about that because we definitely talked about that a lot, but
it's a good game. There it is.
It's good. It's fun.
All right, let's talk about. We've moved on from video games a little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about 3 TV shows.
Holy cow! The TV show episode.
2 that are absolutely fantastic,
mm-hmm.
and I think that if anyone has the capabilities to watch them, they should watch them. The other one is something that I just learned about yesterday afternoon. So let me do the 2 good ones first.
Okay.
If you have Paramount Plus, which I know is not the most common one to have.
Yeah.
I stole it from my mom.
I didn't spend money on it, but if you have it.
Also, they have ads, which is really annoying.
Oh, yeah, for the base tier. Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. But, so like, there is ads, which is a bummer. But they have a show called, it has 2 seasons now. We just started it a couple days ago, called The Lioness.
The Lioness. It's
pretty great. It's about CIA spies and their operations against terrorism, and it's, you know, this Lioness task force, which is, you know, they have a female operative go in and try to infiltrate the females of the target's life.
Okay.
So it's like they'll have an operative that goes in and tries to befriend the wife or the daughter or anything like that, and then gather as much information about them as they can so that they can like plan a strike best, right?
Okay.
And they have like, you know, there's a whole op team behind them, so, you know, the show hooked me in the first 7 minutes, actually in the first 1 minute, because they were in some middle of the Middle East place on like a base, and these fighters come and like try to like attack them, and the main character literally just calls in an A10 on them and just and I was like, all right, well, you got me. Yeah, I'm good. I'm watching the entire show now. And then a few minutes after that, like maybe 2, they're trying to introduce like the whole, you know, like what's going on in a very fast-paced way. It's very good, but they just like drop a massive bomb from a predator drone on like a building and just like blow it up. And I was like, I understand. This is going to be a good show.
Cool. Okay. So
we're 5 episodes in. 4 out of 8 for the first season, and then there's a second season.
Yeah.
And would recommend.
All right.
It's very good. If you have Paramount Plus, give it a shot.
Somebody in my extended family has that. I can.
They're not GPS tagged or location tagged, or IP tagged, whatever
Netflix started doing.
Yeah. They don't have that. So if you want to just steal someone else's,
respectfully borrow, but we'll only use it one at a time or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
For all legal purposes.
The other one is also on Paramount Plus, and this one I would give raving reviews, mostly because Tom Hardy's in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's called Mobland. So completely different vibe from the other one.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of this one, at least.
It's very... You've watched Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Think Peaky Blinders,
but
in 2025.
Oh, okay.
So
it's mobs and gangs.
It's mobs and it's drug gangs, drug mobs, drug cartels, whatever you want to call them, in 2024, 2025.
Gotcha.
So
a lot of like the drama and the suspense.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm pretty big fan of that one.
Was it at America or is he
England?
England. Okay.
So London.
So he doesn't have to change his accent.
Gotcha. Nope, he does not. Yeah, it's in London. A lot of cool scenes.
A lot of violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy plays a bad A. He's like the fixer of like this mob family, right? So like whenever there's any problems, he has to go out and like fix them, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Premise of the story is there's a big problem that he's trying to fix.
That he's got to fix. Yeah.
The family members of like the head guy just keep causing more problems for him to fix.
Have you finished it?
We're 1 episode away from finishing it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because then I would like to hear, maybe not next week, or just tell me, like, does he finish it? Like,
Yeah.
is it a full, complete story? That's what I would.
Yeah, I don't know that. So they're doing it episodically.
Yeah.
So we've been watching it for.
Oh, you're watching it like live, like it's coming out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah. So
You hate to do that.
I hate to do that, but this is a great show.
Okay. Yeah.
So we didn't start it the same day it came out.
Yeah. So
we had like 4 or 5 episodes
to catch up,
and so like 6 and 7 we've been watching
nice
episodically. Right. So tomorrow will be 7 or 8. I don't remember. It's
maybe
one of those.
The last one.
Maybe the last one. Maybe second to last.
Okay.
Depending on if they're doing 7 or 8, if they're doing 8 episodes, which is standard, but then I go up to 10. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love it if they did 10.
Mobland. Yeah. Right. Just some more time, more content to wrap things up at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hour-long episodes.
Yeah, that's good.
So. Similar
to that vein, then I'll recommend The Penguin on HBO if you have HBO. It's a pretty good TV show.
Really?
8 episodes. I like it. I don't know. I didn't hear too much about it or think much of it when it came out. I was like, yeah, whatever. But that's Colin Farrell from the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Plays the Penguin, which seems kind of goofy. You're like, isn't this like comic books and stuff? But like they play it very. It's mafia Godfather in Gotham, but there's nothing like comic book going on. Because it's just in the fallout after the movie, and you see Penguin kind of on his own like rise to power, as you know him in the comic books being a big criminal mastermind. It was good. It was 8 episodes, and it was a full, complete story. And then spoilers by the end of it, he is like the Penguin.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's good. Like I don't need a season 2 or anything. Like it told a complete story, and it was enjoyable from start to finish. And with a lot of those the crime dramas or the mob movies, you sometimes forget that the protagonist, the guy you're following the whole time or whatever, is not a good guy.
Yeah.
And then you very much got that in this one as well. It was written really well. I think the characters were all done well. Okay, I can kind of sympathize. I understand his motivation. I understand these other characters' motivations really well. Everybody feels realistic. Everybody feels real. Yeah. He just murdered that guy. He's a bad guy. Okay, I shouldn't empathize with that, but I understand how you feel.
Yeah,
they're written well where they can get you to feel things while you're watching it. You're like, okay, yeah,
That's very similar at Mobland. You're watching. You're like, oh man, I hope this. Can they figure it out? Man, they're gonna all get killed. That's horrible. And then you're like, oh, they're one of the lead importers of drugs and violence into England. They're not good people.
They're not good people, yeah. But you get
but you're rooting for them a little bit,
Yeah, you get a glimpse into their lives, with Peaky Blinders, the 3 brothers are the main characters.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, they're brothers, they're the family, but you're like, they're not great.
No, they're actually the antithesis of good people.
I was really sad when, spoilers, it was, 4 seasons ago, they killed one of the brothers, and I was like, oh man,
4 seasons in 12 years.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. But it's he wasn't a bad guy. He got killed by another bad guy. You're like, yeah, that happens.
Kind of how that works.
But you get a glimpse in, and you can understand why they do what they do a little bit. So, well-written characters will do that to you. So,
if you have Paramount, highly recommend The Lioness. Yeah. Highly recommend even more Mobland. Great shows.
Cool.
They might be worth just getting the base level of Paramount anyway, just to watch them both.
A 7-day free trial, probably. You can binge.
Yep. So there's 2 seasons of The Lioness, so you could definitely binge that.
Yeah.
Like I said, Mobland is coming out episodically. Yeah. If you don't pay for it, if you have someone in your family that pays for it already, offer them halvesies or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's super good. Yep. Super worth. So.
And then I'll add on HBO. I would recommend The Penguin. Same thing. All those qualifiers.
Mm-hmm. The last one I wanted to talk about.
The last TV show. I think I saw your note.
Yeah. So, okay. It's the Wheel of Time. Or Wheel of Time?
Yeah, The Wheel of Time.
Yeah. That Amazon had been producing.
Yeah.
I have watched seasons 1 and 2.
Oof. Forgot you.
Season 1 was oof. Season 2 was oofito. A littler oof.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything about season 3 coming out.
Season 3, yeah.
And they released it, all of the episodes all at once.
Just dropped it all at once, yeah.
Which hasn't been how they've been doing it. They had been doing it episodically. They dropped them all at once, like last month, like this month.
Yeah, like.
And apparently no one watched them, and the show got canned.
Yeah.
So
probably already on the downslope if they didn't advertise the new season at all.
I literally did not see a single advertisement for it.
No. But I did see. Did I? Yeah, no, I did hear. I think same as you, like yesterday. It was just like a blip of like, oh yeah, season 3 got canceled on.
The rest of it, season 4.
Yeah, so that's again, it was a little blip. I didn't realize that they had even dropped season 3.
Oh yeah.
I saw like, oh, Wheel of Time got canceled. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Should have been canceled years ago. I'm like, oh no, they released season 3.
Yeah.
And canceled the rest of it.
I don't know if there was 20 people watching that show when it released. I have no clue. I'm sure there was, right? Like, I'm sure there are some people who are super big fans of it.
People who worked on it and their families, sure.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal was, but, like, it was just... It was a show that, like, I was watching because it was, like, semi-interesting, the storyline.
It was fantasy-ish, and you don't have many good fantasy shows these days.
Yeah. Very few fantasy shows these days. But I wasn't, like, super invested into it. I wasn't, like, a super huge fan of, like, the lore and this. It did not cause me to want to go buy the books and read the books.
No, yeah.
Right? So.
Interesting, yeah.
It was...
Not a good show.
It was not.
Yeah.
So, I'm not surprised that it got canned, but I'm also, like, surprised that they just dropped season 3, and then, like, they decided, like, well, we'll drop season 3, and then, like, 2 days later, oh, by the way, this is canceled, so, like, no reason to watch it now.
Yeah, exactly. We had no budget left to even try to advertise and try to save season 3. We're like...
Well, and it's like, if you are going to produce a show, right, and there's a potential for a 4th season.
Yeah.
And season 3 presumably has some sort of cliffhanger. Why would you say, like, hey, we dropped season 3, and there's not going to be season 4?
When people know that there's 12 books, like...
Yeah, it's like, well,
they know that that's not the end of the story.
Then I'm not going to watch season 3, because why would I watch it to get the cliffhanger that's never going to be finished?
Right. It's different if you had said beforehand, like, oh, we're going to write a 3-season show.
Yeah.
Or if they had done in that same announcement, like if they knew ahead of time, like, oh, season 4 is going to be our last season, so we'll wrap up the story, right? Like, speed it up really fast. Sure. Try to adapt it somehow. But no, then, like, season 3 will probably have a cliffhanger. You're right.
So it's like, well, I'm not going to spend my time to go watch this show now. Like, why would I do that? But
yeah, well, good riddance. They screwed the pooch on that one. Amazon did.
I've been like, there's some movies that Amazon has been a part of where I'm like, that was really well done.
Yeah.
And then I think about their TV shows, and I'm like, 50% of them are like decent TV shows, like Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
And there's another one that they do that's
Terminal List.
Terminal List was good.
I enjoyed that.
There's a couple TV shows that have been pretty okay.
Yeah.
And then they take these IPs that are like humongous IPs, i.e. Wheel of Time, i.e.
Lord of the Rings,
and they just take them and they make such a mess of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, and there's some people where it's like, okay, they're fine, I'll watch the show. And there's other people who are like, these are bad. Those IPs, like, how many people have watched the 3 Lord of the Ring movies?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And said, that was meh.
It was okay.
Meh, I don't think I'll watch that. Like, that has to be under 5%.
Yeah, sure.
And how many hundreds of millions of people have watched those movies, right?
And go like, oh yeah, everything like...
Now, I'm not saying that they're all...
critiques.
You can have critiques, certainly.
Yeah.
But everyone basically agrees, bar none almost, that those are good movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, maybe some of your main complaints is like, the adaptation from the books, but then that means that you read the books, and so, like, you're already a fan.
Yes.
Like,
So, like, you're a super fan, so you're going to watch it anyway.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They had such an opportunity to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Where take fans, super fans, people who have read the books, people who haven't read the books, and just make such a great show.
Yeah.
And they just drop the ball.
That's what, like, Wheel of Time, that's what I mean, they screwed the pooch. Like, that is 12 books, and it has a very dedicated audience, like, from the 90s, reading those books. You could have done this fantastic 12-season series, a la Game of Thrones, which I think is what they were trying to do. Instead, it was just not that. They didn't even adapt the first book right. So from season 1, I was like, oh, this is going nowhere. This is bad.
Yeah. It's rough.
Mm-hmm. And then Lord of the Rings, they, like, instead of adapting, they just tried to write their own stuff.
Because they didn't get the rights to anything but the in-between material of the books. Yeah. They didn't get the rights to any of the books.
They got the extra stuff, the cliff notes and everything, and then they're like, we'll just, like, write our own stuff to fill in the gaps. And it was not good.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Tolkien was a master editor and writer, and he crafted his own universe, like, perfectly. It wasn't just books. He had a universe.
He created languages.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking to my dad the other day about this, ironically enough. And when he on his first drafts of The Hobbit, which are in some book form somewhere, is different from his, like, later versions of The Hobbit, because he had to retcon himself when he fleshed out the universe a bit more. Because the original Hobbit was just like a bedtime story.
Yeah.
But then people kept asking him questions like, hey, what's this deal about the ring and everything? And so, like, his actual The Hobbit that we read today has, like,
erratas.
Yeah, basically. He's like, well, no, hold on. I want to get my story straight in this universe. And so then from there, he just crafted, and everything connects together so perfectly. Like, and then with Rings of Power, they're like, we'll just, like, make things up or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's an insult.
Yeah, it's.
Is fantasy dead, Stephen? Maybe that's the deep question here. No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's fair. That's my opinion, but I saw that floating around a little bit.
No, I think there are so many people who are reading fantasy still.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that fantasy is best consumed as a book.
Yeah. More imagination in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
And so I don't think the genre of fantasy is dead. I think you have to be very, very careful when you... And this is really for any book that's not like a, modern setting book, right? Mm-hmm. Like any fantasy, even sci-fi, because you read something about the ships that the characters in Dune fly, right?
Yeah.
Like you read like, oh, what is an ornithopter? And in your brain, you're like, oh, well, I know kind of like what like a normal. I kind of have an idea of what this is. Mm-hmm. And you have the battleships that the Atreides have, and the battleships that the Harkonnen have, and like what do they look like? What do the shield packs look like? In your brain, you create this narrative or this visual picture of what these items look like. In fantasy, this dragon is, a massive green dragon or whatever. And you're like, oh, that's cool. He's got like my dragon might have horns and your dragon might be sleek. And, my dragon might be more Chinese and your dragon might be more European or whatever,
sure,
right? Like,
yeah.
it just in your brain's image of dragons, right? And the authors have carefully crafted this narrative of like, this is what this looks like. This is what this is supposed to be. And then they let you fill in all of the esoteric random tidbits that don't really matter, right? Where it's like, oh, this dragon had really big scales. Okay, but what shape are the scales? Are they more triangular? Are they more rounded? Are they, whatever.
Definitely.
And then you take those, which everyone already has their own picture of what that is.
Yep.
And you have to be very careful.
Yeah, you can't just throw it on the big screen.
You can't just like say like, well, this is a dragon. It's a dragon.
Yeah. So who cares?
Well, no. People have like, if that dragon is, there's the books where their dragon riders talk with their dragons, right? Like in Aragon and Saphira, right? It's like, well, that is a character. That's not just a dragon. Mm-hmm. That's not just like a horse. It's like if the character's like, and he rode a chestnut horse. You can find any chestnut horse. It doesn't matter if they have a white spot on their head or not, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter, right? Because they don't talk to their horse, right? But if you have a dragon who is a character in the book,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, this is the same gripe. This is the same gripe I have with like Hermione being black.
Oh,
in,
sure,
like, the play,
right.
And
Or
like them
Snape.
changing or this Snape.
Snape's
this
going to be black in the new TV show.
Yeah, it's going to be a failure. I'm not even. No one even is going to care. It's like, okay, you can read the book and you can like have like a different view of what Snape looked like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most people have like a picture of Hermione and Snape based off of the actors,
The movies,
right?
yeah.
Because the books were still being written when the movies came out, so they kind of, that informed their imagination. But like, you could choose a variety of different actors and throw them in there, and like, as long as they relatively fit the description, it's fine, right? But you have to fit the description,
because the author took special care in that description.
Yes. And so like, for dragons, right? For example, if the author says, a dragon with large scales and 6 inch fangs and whatever, right? Like, when you're designing that, you need to have all of those aspects in it, because people have imagined that and they have a relationship with that character, right?
And so that is hard to accomplish.
Like, if you have a character in a book that is pale and super blonde hair, and dark, like piercing blue eyes,
tall and lanky,
and then you get like some fat Mexican chick to play him.
You're like, that's, nobody had that image in their head.
And not only that, but but on the same token, right? I'm not trying to say like, we need whatever the author writes, that needs to be what informs the casting, not the political opinions of the caster, right?
It should be held in some form of respect, of the original source material. Like,
take The Witcher, for example. If they had chosen to use Henry Cavill and his natural hair color, everyone would have been like, what the heck? Why does he not have white hair? He's a Witcher.
That's literally like the Witchers. They get white hair.
Well, exactly, right?
Yeah.
No one cares if that Witcher had black skin, because Witchers can be anyone, right?
Exactly.
And so but if that black actor didn't have the white hair of a Witcher,
be like, you're not true to the source material.
You're not true to the source material.
I envisioned in my head that Witchers have white hair, because that's what you told me.
And if the story doesn't say he was a black guy, that's fine, because guess what? The story didn't say.
Didn't say.
And so he could be.
People have imagined that also infinite numbers of ways. Yeah,
he could be, for sure, as long as he has that white hair, And it's the same exact thing in all of these books and movies and these adaptations. Is if you're going to take a fantasy world and apply it to the movie screen,
adapt it right,
you have to do it right, or else you're just going to fail.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a travesty. And this is what happened with Aragon. Amazing book. Amazing books. They had there's so much material for at least the 4 movies of the books, right? Plus a spin-off TV show, plus all this stuff, right? And then they put that first movie out, and it was just so so bad.
I think I liked it when I was 8.
Same. I liked it when I was 8.
You're like, it looks fun. And then I watched it when I was like 12, and I was like, this movie's bad.
Yes.
It's a 12-year-old.
Yes.
Oh.
So, I guess, to sum it all up, do better.
Do better. Yeah, man, you took the words out of my mouth. I was thinking the same exact thing.
Just
do better.
All right. Do we have time for one more little story?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So.
Oh man, you put some politics on here?
Well, so we won't do the Trump one.
Yeah.
That one was just I wanted to get your opinion on the video that Trump showed to the South African president. That was just hilarious.
That was funny.
Whatever your immigration policies are.
Oh no, I broke everything.
That was just the funniest thing ever.
Did Jamie pull up the tapes?
Yes, it was very much a. Can we pull that up?
Yeah, that was good.
I did want to tell you about this story that I heard about.
Okay.
Reddit.
Yes.
Is suing the University of Zurich.
What do they got against the Germans?
Swiss.
It's the same thing.
The Swiss would argue that.
Yeah, the Germans wouldn't.
So the it's kind of a convoluted thing, but
Okay.
University of Zurich
Sure.
ran this massive AI experiment
Okay.
on Reddit where they had multiple AIs,
Oh no.
and what they would do is they would so basically the premise was
Dead internet theory. That's what I'm assuming.
a lot of. The AI wouldn't talk with itself,
Okay.
but it would interact with everyone else on Reddit.
Yeah.
And its main goal, it's really kind of dystopian.
Yeah.
Its main goal was to change the opinion of the Redditor.
Yeah.
And they had a humongous success rate.
Oh my God.
Because they would go through...
I was going to say anything positive is too much, but...
They would go through the posts and the comments and the likes of these people that they were quote-unquote targeting.
Okay.
And then they would go onto the politics subs or wherever this person was at and try to change their mind.
Dang.
And the AI was not, it was right wing to left wing to right wing, centrist to non-centrist, radical to centrist. Like it was all of them. So it wasn't like just saying like, we're going to take all these right wingers and turn them into left wingers, or all these left wingers and turn them into right wingers. It was just regardless, it was just the opposite of your opinion.
Yeah, the success rate is on changing your opinion.
Yes. Yeah. And this AI had like a 20% success rate.
Yikes.
Which you're like, 20% isn't that big.
Yeah, but
no, that's 20% of people changing their opinion on a topic that's like relatively massive, right?
And when it's AI, like 20% of a large number is a large number. Like
it's crazy,
and you can do it all at once. Like,
and they did not have permission to do this from Reddit.
Okay,
which is why Reddit is suing the University of Zurich.
Okay, I'm just my gut reaction is like it probably wasn't invasive anything they did. Like they were probably using Reddit's own algorithms, I bet, and then we're just
I don't know.
Like unless they were actually going into Reddit, doing illegal stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I think there's like something about like botting though, where like,
I mean, Reddit's gonna have to work on that then because there's a lot of bots, but maybe they can't claim who those bots come from or whatever.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's something I've thought for a bit, like, because AI is such new tech that we don't know, like. We don't know anything about it yet. We're not prepared for it. The morality of it. Along that similar vein, I was reading like it was kind of a funny comment I think on Reddit or a post, right? Of like somebody was just like trying to like denigrate I think Grok AI or like do this for me, generate this thing. They were just like super rude to it, and it was like an unethical thing that they wanted. Some.
A pony riding a kitten. Or
or they wanted something evil or whatever. I'm sorry. That's probably a little bit early. We do have a bit more time, but because I didn't have the timer exact. But so they were telling it like, I want to see this image or whatever, and it was like something bad, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like that's unethical or whatever. And so the joke was like, even AI is more ethical than us when supposedly it doesn't have morals.
Yeah, the problem, though, in my opinion, with AI is that someone programs the morals and ethics.
Exactly. Yep. And
so my morals and ethics are different than your morals and ethics, and we're very similar,
And that is Person of Interest is a TV show that did that perfectly 10 years ago, because that was the whole premise of that show before AI was really even talked about.
That was a good show.
Yeah, such a good show. I already rewatched it like 2 years ago, and I want to rewatch it again because AI has improved so much in 2 years.
Yeah. That was with Jim Caviezel, right?
Yeah, Jim Caviezel.
Jim. Said James.
Jimmy. Anyway, so I was funny because I was thinking about that this week of like, we don't even know how, like, we're not teaching kids in schools or whatever, like morality, how to interact with AI, like. You should, I don't know, be respectful to AI for lack of a better term. I don't know. We don't have rules for that of like how to treat this artificial intelligence that isn't really, but whatever.
This algorithm.
Yeah. And so, seeing stuff like that of like, I don't know how illegal it is. to put AI on the internet. A lot of people have AI on the internet. Like,
yeah, it's interesting. We'll see what happens with it, but
yeah, because I mean, yeah, they can change your minds. So can any comment on the internet. But then it's like, but who is that person? What's their motivations? It's the same thing with, politics is the best example, but I guess religion as well. It's like, what is the person's motivations behind what they're telling you? You shouldn't just believe anything wholeheartedly.
yeah, I think
understand and come to your own opinions, right?
I think we're going to get to a point where social media and media in general is going to require some form of like official government ID for you to, participate, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be background against like the government database of IDs,
But I just don't love putting that in the hands of, the government, putting that in the hands of someone.
No, I don't love it, but like, but it, to prevent the dead internet.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, maybe it's not bad that the internet has a dead internet. That,
Maybe we just all get off the internet, but
maybe we just all only use the internet for Wikipedia.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever.
Yeah, some just use it as a library. It's just information, non-biased, just books, information. That's it. History, done.
Yep. We don't need social media.
Yeah.
I think social media is probably, if nothing happens and AI is continuing to be so infiltrative as it is now, I'll bet you no one posts on social media in 15 years.
Yeah, we just got to find better ways of dealing with it, I think. Or it might end up like that, or maybe that is how it ends up after we decide, you know what?
Also, I have not found any use case for like the Google search AI.
I hate that one, yeah.
It's so bad. It's so wrong all the time.
Wrong, yeah. Like, just give me the search result of what I want, like.
It's so bad.
Yeah. I think I was trying to fix my ice maker this week or whatever, and then Google search AI was like, well, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in or something? That was the top result. I'm like, no, I Googled my brand and my model number, give me the actual FAQ, the actual troubleshooting for
I was trying to do something for work yesterday. We were troubleshooting one of our concrete trucks. Same thing happened. Yeah. I typed in the Pro Mixer Commander 2.0, which is literally the brand of the truck, the type of truck it is, and the system that it's running.
Yeah, exactly.
User manual. That's what I typed in.
That's what I want. That should be top result, PDF. Done.
That was the fourth result.
That's so tough. You have to scroll down,
because it was all the AI,
Gemini is here's what we think.
Literally, they go, well, Pro Mixers are a mixer truck that it's okay, I know what this is.
I know, that's why I Googled it.
I'm literally standing on the truck,
So bizarre. On a funny note, for AI related stories this week, the ChatGPT is known for sucking up to the user a lot lately, because these AIs have personalities or whatever.
Wow, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, they're always, such a good idea. And somebody they were teasing their AI, basically trying to see how much it could do, and so it was sucking up to them. They're like, hey, ChatGPT, I have this great business idea. I want to, how some people have missing socks or whatever. I want to combine people who have missing socks to other people who have missing socks, and then they can have pairs of socks. ChatGPT was like, that's a great business idea. Do you need help exploring how to get started or ventures or whatever? And then after that, they shared a couple of screenshots. They were like, ChatGPT, I'm thinking of quitting my job. I'm gonna go all in on this business venture because it's such a good idea. And then the AI tried to backpedal. It was like, James, do not quit your job. Let's think about this. It's a good idea, but it's still in its early stages or whatever.
That's very funny.
And then their last message was I already sent the email to my boss, and I already resigned. And then it was okay, let's think, how final is this? How exact in your wording? Maybe in your email you can say, hey, that was hasty. I'd like to reconsider. It was trying to help him don't quit your job.
That's very funny.
Yeah. AI, man, it's goofy. Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any other words of wisdom to end that on, but
Yeah. AI will be interesting to see where it is in 5 years.
right.
5 months.
Basically.
All right. Should we do card of the week and then call it?
Let's do it. Let's finish her up.
All right, Trevor. Have you ever heard of a Beeble?
A Beeble.
A Beeble.
Beeble. I don't think so.
So this card,
It's a Beeble.
it's a 5-mana 3/3
That sounds amazing.
from Urza's Destiny.
That's old.
Yes, looks old. The card name is Bubbling Beebles.
The Bubbling Beebles. No
So
way.
5-mana 3/3, 4 in blue. Bubbling Beebles is unblockable as long as defending player controls an enchantment.
Oh my! It has enchantment walk.
Yes.
What's the creature type?
Beeble.
Beeble. Yeah. Okay. So when you have a changeling, you can say it's a Beeble.
Yes.
What is this? It's Pauper legal. Yes, I'm gonna play this in Pauper.
The Bubbling
The
Beebles.
Bubbling Beebles. It's like a goofy.
It's like a bubble. It's a bubble.
It's literally a bubble. I was like, what is this, like Looney Tunes or something? Like, what is that animation style? That is so bizarre. That's a commander, yeah. It's a commander legal. It's a common. Yep. Bubbling Beebles. I have no notes. 10 out of 10.
There's also, if you were curious,
Oh, two.
in Urza's Legacy,
There's another Beeble.
there's another Beeble.
Please tell me he's a legendary Beeble so I can make a commander deck. Oh,
No, he's not.
not
He
yet.
is legal in Commander, Pauper, Legacy, and Vintage. He is a 3-mana 2/2. Bouncing Beebles.
Oh, man. The Bouncing Beebles.
Bouncing Beebles is unblockable if defending player controls an artifact.
He has artifact walk. Why? Bubbling Beebles, Bouncing Beebles. Now they gotta have like Booby the Beeble, the legendary Beeble.
There's Bursting Beebles, there's Blurry Beeble, and there's Bamboozling Beeble as well.
Steven, stop. Man, the content. You can stretch this out over 5 weeks. All the magic.
It's true, I could.
All the freaking symbols.
One of them is a silver, 2 of them are silver borders.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
One of them is the Unset, Infinity. Unfinity.
Oh, yeah, Infinity, which, if it has the acorn sticker, is not legal.
It says Commander, Pauper, Legacy, and Vintage legal.
Oh, okay, so it's good then.
That's Bamboozling Beeble. 1-mana 1/1. Protection from robots.
Oh, yeah, okay. They didn't stick.
Plus, pay 1 tap. The next time target player would roll 1 or more dice this turn. Instead, they roll that many dice plus 1, and you choose one of those rolls to ignore.
Oh, advantage. Okay.
Except you get to. It's disadvantage.
If you choose one to ignore, right?
Well,
You get to pick.
but next time target player.
Target player. Okay.
So if you're rolling a dice and you roll high or low, I get to
Yeah.
choose low for you.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So-
or high for yourself.
Yes.
The Bamboozling Beebles.
This one is in unstable. It's not legal in anything.
Yeah.
It's Blurry Beeble.
Silver border. I'm.
This is funny. Blurry Beeble, 1-mana 1/1. Whenever it has a keyword blurry.
blurry.
Yeah. This creature can be blocked only if defending player was wearing glasses as it was cast.
Nice, because of the blurry
Yeah.
vision.
What is this other one? We're just doing all of them.
All the Beebles. It's a.
This one is from Unhinged. 3-mana 2/2. Bursting Beebles. Bursting Beebles is unblockable as long as defending player controls 2 or more non-land permanents that share an artist.
Oh, that's quite random.
Yes.
Well, there you have it.
Beebles!
It's a Beeble day.
It's a Beeble day. There's 5 cards of the week.
Yeah.
1 for each day.
Nice. Right on. Well, thanks for sharing your Beebles.
Of course. I will always share my Beebles with you.
Yep. And that's how we'll just end that. Thanks.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.